today we are doing CHING number 162. So we're just gonna get straight into this CHING. First thing that I have is a set of 3 Waterford cordial glasses. Those sold for $29.99. Then you will see this next item twice because we have multiples available. But this is a Hazel Atlas uranium cup and saucer set that sold for $14. Then I have been seeing some Valentine's Day cards selling. So this first one is kind of like some anthropomorphic vegetables that sold for $9.99. Then also selling Christmas as well. Next item is just like a hard plastic Santa Claus ornament that sold for $17.99. Another Christmas related item was a Monet Christmas stocking trinket box that sold for $32.99. Then I also sold, this was a little ceramic figure by Schmid with these 2 little kitty cats in a airplane that sold for $9.99. This next item was just kind of weird. It was a vintage like baby wipe holder, just like this little plastic baby wipe holder. I don't even know where it came from. It was probably in like a box lot from the auction. Anyway, it sold for $8.99. Then also sold a Littlest Pet Shop animal figure of an otter. He sold for $16.99. As well as a Lysol No Touch soap dispenser that was brand new, still sealed, that sold for $29.99, and that was in one of my Death Pile videos. Also sold, this was a vintage from 1996 Barbie wedding little like accessory set that sold for $19.99. Then we sold a wooden folk art tree with, there was like 7 birds on it, all like carved. That sold for $85. Then I sold, these went to the same person. This was 2 different pairs of Monster High doll earrings. The first went to a doll called Venus Flytrap. Those sold for $12.99. And then the other one went to a Frankie Stein doll, and those sold for $9.99. Then this next item was a what they call cold cast porcelain statue. This actually went overseas and it sold for $99.99. Then I sold a set of 2 German glass Christmas ornaments. These had kind of like a bumpy texture to them, kind of shaped like hearts in a way. Those sold for $22.50. Then we sold a set of 2 vintage wrestling figures. We did take a best offer on these, so they sold for $22.99. Here's another one of those. Like I said, there was going to be 2. Another set of the Hazel Atlas uranium cup and saucer that sold for $14. This next item I had literally forever. It was a vintage button-up shirt that finally sold for $9.99. Then also have this was a vintage little coin purse shaped like a dog, and it had glitter and water in it. Oh my gosh, it was so cute. I picked that up at a yard sale over the summer. I think I paid like 10 cents for it. It sold for $12.99. I'm big on picking up stuff that just is like nostalgic for me, because I know if it's nostalgic for me, it's gonna be nostalgic for someone else out there. So when I see stuff like that, I just have to pick it up. Anyway, next item was a Miss Priss sugar and creamer set that sold for $59.99. The next 2 items went to a subscriber named Christy. She purchased a Philosophy Vanilla Birthday Cake 3-in-1 for $15.99. as well as another one, but in the scent Melon Daiquiri, that sold for $19.99. Then I sold a vintage hairbrush by Howard that sold for $29.99, and that was in one of my Death Pal videos. A Signature Club A skin, these were skin capsules. Those sold for $19.99. Then this next item was just like a vintage My Little Pony accessory piece. It was literally just like this little, looked like a popcorn bucket, but it was for ponies. And that sold for $18.99. Then I did sell those set of 3 vintage convex frames. I was saying, these were my Death Pile video, and I was saying like I didn't even know whether or not I was going to list them because the bigger one that was marked Italy was technically broken, but I figured someone might be able to still use the frame, and I was kind of concerned like they weren't going to sell, and then I probably would have thrown them away, in all honesty. Anyway, they sold $33, so that's awesome, and I'm glad I did not throw those away. Next I sold this was in the Death Pile video, it was that Fisher-Price dragon figure that sold for $9.99. Sold a vintage Polly Pocket nursery school. This was just the compact, no dolls were in it. That sold for $17.99. Then sold a really nice ornate brass like vanity mirror that sold for $49.99. Sold a set of brand new, still sealed, vintage puffy stickers. These were all like fish themed. Those sold for $12.99. Sold a Yankee candle in the scent Harvest Welcome, so obviously brand new. That sold for $49.99. This next item was in a Death Pile video. I have a couple of these. Only one pair sold so far, but it was these Bath & Body Works socks, and they're scented. They're scented like vanilla cashmere. I actually kept a pair myself, and they are wonderful. I love them. Those sold for $19.99. Then we sold a Lefton Hey Diddle Diddle little figure. Oh, this was so cute. Did take a best offer on that for $30. Then sold a Wedgwood blue table lighter for $19.99. I feel like that was in a Death Pile video. I'm starting to forget now what was in Death Pile videos and what wasn't, but things are selling, you know, from my Death Pile videos. So things that are going up, you know, recently are quickly selling, which is awesome. Then also sold that vintage rubber-faced rabbit plush. This was in a Death Pile video that sold for $39.99. I actually had a duck, like a vintage duck plush. I had it listed on eBay, but it didn't sell, so I put it in the booth, and it did sell in the booth, and you'll see that in my next What Sold in the Booth video. Sold another vintage Valentine's Day card, again, $9.99. Then I sold that vintage Valentine's Day girl planter. I picked this up at the antique store. I paid about $20-ish for it. This was in a Death Pile video. It sold for $90.99. Then I sold another vintage Valentine's Day card for $9.99. Next item was also in a Death Pile video. It was that Longaberger recipe basket. Can't seem to keep these in stock. Wish I had a never-ending supply of them. That sold for $39.99. Next item went to a subscriber named Linda. She purchased that Avon Dreamy Blue necklace that was in a Death Pile video. Sold for $9.99. I sold a Beekman 1802 goat milk body serum for $19.99. This next item was also in a Death Pile video. These were a pair of leopard print sunglasses. They were so blingy when the light hit them. Those sold for $19.50. Next item was also in a Death Pal video. This was a Nail bulletproof nail strengthener. And then I had like a pack of nail files that I put in that little wad that sold for $16. Next item went to a subscriber named Sandra. She purchased that lot of our Bond products that I had. It was two pieces in there in the scent apricot vanilla. It was a body polish and a body butter. That sold for $12.99 and was in a Death Pal video. This next item I had for a while, and it was on the larger side, so I was super thankful when this sold. This was a vintage, what they called Fanny the Fallen Angel doll. She was the sweetest looking doll. That sold for $89.99. I sold a random little Barbie accessory. This was from 1994. It was a little like fish tank that went to a Barbie playhouse. That sold for $9.99. I sold that vintage Whitman's Valentine's Day candy heart box. Pretty sure this was in a Death Pal video. That sold for $31. Fun fact, I had this on auction prior. It had a lot of watchers. No one bid on it. So I relisted it, but I kept it on auction since it had so many watchers, and it ended up selling for more. So it's like, that's what I don't understand with watchers. Like, I guess maybe they hope like things will just get relisted and then just put up as a buy it now. Maybe they think they can swoop in and just buy it, which is the case sometimes. Like if I have stuff that doesn't sell on auction, I'll just relist it as a buy it now for that price. But since it had so many watchers, I was like, I'm gonna try again. Same thing with those bumpy German Christmas ornaments. Same thing happened. Had them on auction, no one bid, relisted them, they sold for more than what I was trying to ask for them originally, kind of thing. It's just funny how that works. Anyway, next item, also in a Death Pal video. This was a Beekman 1802 hand care set. Sold for $24.99. I do still have one more of those available. And then the last item I have went to a subscriber named Jody. I'm pretty sure this might have been a subscriber because it said it was a repeat buyer. Eric shipped this out before I like noticed that it was a repeat buyer. Not every repeat buyer is a subscriber, but sometimes they are, and sometimes I do miss them, or Eric already, you know, has the package done and then, you know, all said and done, and then I don't have a note inside. So I apologize. I've said this before. I apologize if that ever happens, because I always, and everyone who, you know, has been a repeat buyer, like, knows that I always try to put in like a little handwritten thank you note to some degree. So I feel horrible when one gets missed, but it does happen. So I'm sorry for that, guys. So that's everything for this cha-ching. I'm not quite halfway through getting another one together already, but as far as my eBay sales go, they're down 16.5%. I've said before, I never look at those kind of statistic things. I only write it down right before I do a cha-ching video, just out of sheer curiosity and to share with you guys. But honestly, for me, it means nothing to me. Like, it doesn't matter. I mean, sure, it's nice to see it up and in the green, but I'm still happy with my sales. I still think I'm, you know, having good sales, so it just doesn't bug me so much. One thing that I wanted to discuss about eBay, because sometimes I feel like I don't really have anything to discuss about eBay at the end of the videos, but I have something today. So, this was, I am assuming 100% someone who was trying to scam, a little scammeroonie going on here, but obviously didn't work for them. So I sold a Marilyn Miglin perfume, brand new, still sealed. I think you saw it, I think, in my last cha-ching video, it would have been. So it was a zero feedback buyer, which I don't don't care if a buyer has zero feedback. We all started somewhere. I don't, you know, have anything where, you know, zero feedback buyers can't bid or something like that, because we all start somewhere, and you can't just automatically assume that just because someone doesn't have feedback that they're, you know, not trustworthy or something like that. But they did have zero feedback. So they purchased the perfume, and then they opened a case saying they didn't receive their item. So I go on, I check the tracking, and what these, I guess, scammers don't realize is that I can clearly see when it was delivered, where it was delivered, what time it was delivered. So, hold on one second. Eric is texting me. He's at Goodwill, so he's probably sending me pictures to see if I want something. No, okay, he's not at Goodwill. All right, he's just sharing something. He went to to get groceries today, and he stopped at the booth to throw in a couple things. Anyway, so, you know, I checked the tracking number and it said it was delivered. So I, you know, re-put in like the tracking number information, and I left a little message like saying, says it was delivered this day at this time in mailbox, da 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 da. So, eBay, obviously, like, once they looked at it, they closed the case because it was delivered, you know? There's nothing else that can be done once something is delivered. So then they didn't stop there. They opened a case, a dispute with their, I guess, credit card company. So now I guess they're trying to get their money back from the credit card. So to keep the perfume and get the money back that way, since they didn't get it through eBay. But that hasn't, I don't think that has ended quite yet. But when I click on it, it says that I'm protected. Like, eBay sent a message saying that me as a seller, like, I'm protected against that. So even if like something were to come of it, it wouldn't affect me at all. Like, I'd still obviously get to keep my money and whatnot, and it wouldn't, you know, hurt my account for, you know, supposedly something not being received or whatever. But I feel like it's been a while since something like that has happened, where someone claims they didn't get something when it said it was delivered. Now, I guess there is, you know, chances out there where maybe something got stolen from someone's porch, or maybe it was delivered to the wrong address, and, you know, like the next door neighbor, and the next door neighbor decided to like keep it or something. Like, I'm sure there are instances of that do happen. We don't live in a perfect world, but it just was really fishy right off the bat, since it was a zero feedback buyer. You know what I mean? Like, what are the chances your very first order is, you know, not delivered even though it says it was, kind of thing. So I don't know. I'm not concerned about it, but, you know, these types of things do happen. But eBay is pretty good with that when you're a seller. I feel like some people think eBay doesn't protect the seller, that they're only after worrying about the buyer and protecting the buyer, but that's not the case. I feel like eBay, like, anytime I've had issues, especially recently, they've always been on top of it. They've always you know, fixed things that needed fixed, or helped when I needed help with something. So you know, I'm happy with their customer service, but I'm sure there's instances where, you know, people might get someone who isn't so helpful, kind of thing. But I've only ever had recently good experiences. Oh my gosh, it is so cold outside. You guys probably are well aware it's cold everywhere, it seems like, but there's like ice kind of like chipping away and falling off the roof every so often. But I do think that is pretty much everything for this video. I I just wanted to say, because I know like not everyone seems to be watching like my death pile videos, and I understand, I get it, it's not going to be everyone's cup of tea. However, you know, I used to do like haul videos, and it's pretty much the same exact thing, except you know, it's stuff coming out of my death piles and that kind of thing. And then stuff that we're, you know, recently bringing in. We're doing good. Like, I'm really proud of, you know, what all I've got done. I think I'm on, what was my last one? Death pile number 16. And like I said, I didn't make a dent in the death pile, but I'm proud of myself as to like what is getting accomplished, and the fact that when things are coming in the house, they're getting listed right away, so they're not even getting a chance to go in the death pile. So it's just, it's all really, you know, it's helping to motivate me. I'm very much a goal-oriented type of person. Like, I need a goal to set for myself really in order to achieve it. Otherwise, I just, you know, can't focus basically. So that's why I decided to do it, because now it's like, you know, it's my goal and I have to accomplish it. Like, when I set to accomplishing something, I have to do it. So if I don't set a goal, then, you know, it doesn't always work out for me, kind of thing, because I can't concentrate on it, I can't focus on it, so I need that goal. So anyway, guys, that's pretty much everything for this video. Hopefully you enjoyed. Let me know what you thought down in the comments, and I will see you tomorrow.